Hello everybody. Today I want to come in and talk about a review. Something that's in my niche, something that I is very passionate about, and things I want to do. But first, I want to say go Pacers. Hopefully by the time somebody watches this video, our Indiana Pacers have won the World Championship in the NBA, but if not, we're real proud of them. Let's get into it. So what I want to do is review a book by a guy that I personally have watched that helped change my life. Helped me find my career that I'm in, helped me use my passions and talents and skills to learn to help others. So a couple years ago, I started looking, I've always done career assessments. I've always loved career assessments, personality profiles, all those things. But then I'm also, trying to get into the Word and understanding that we were created for a purpose in our life. And I started watching a gentleman by the name of Ken Coleman. If anybody knows who Ken Coleman is, he's called America's Career Coach. He works for Dave Ramsey for Ramsey Solutions. Wonderful man, years experience interviewing people, started learning about how they got famous, how they got successful, started helping people understand that. And he kind of like me, used the years of experience to learn how can I help others find their passion and purpose. So he started a podcast, the Ken Coleman Show, and I started tuning in. When I knew I was wanting to change careers, how I was wanting to possibly go back to school to help do that career change and a lot of things. Listen to his show daily. Wonderful podcast. If you want to go out and listen to episodes of it, it's amazing. But what Ken did and helped me understand some things that I was in there, right? And I tell my people all the time, my students, you were created for a purpose. You've got a unique skill set, talents, and skills to help others. You may not identify them, but they're there. And you need to know how to do it. So the book that I want to talk about today is called Find the Work You're Wired to Do. Now, that's Ken's newest book. It comes with a career clarity assessment guide. This is a wonderful, life-changing tool for someone today that hears this. It helped change my life, okay? Career personality profiles, all these things, career assessments are great, and they all do the same thing, right? But this is different, all right? Ken does it differently. It's what I'm passionate about and what I use to help others daily. Now, this is a wonderful new book that has another format that I think would really help with the students. So there's a student version as well out there with a career assessment profile. So the student edition is what I'm showing here. So you can go to KenColeman.com, Dave Ramsey, Ramsey Solutions. You can get this online or Amazon and other bookstores. So what's great about this is it comes with the assessment. So the assessment is awesome in itself. So what the assessment does is different than others, right? It does identify your skills, your talents, how you answer the questions, and helps pinpoint some careers. But this really helps dive in deep because he does it different. So what Ken does is putting together all these things that we ask. First, it uses your talent, what you do best, right? We can identify what we do best. Passion, work that you love, things that you love doing in a day in, day out, maybe past jobs, current job, things like that. And then thirdly, your mission. Results you care about, things that you care about, that you want to see in the world, in your life, people around you, family members, things like that. And then that creates your purpose statement. So based on all of this, right, all these things that we talk about that help you with that. So I'll read mine after identifying this. So what this clarity guide does, and it can blow your mind, right? It's really amazing. So mine says, after putting all this together, and when you read it, it should hit home really well and say, man, that's right. So mine is, and I'll read mine, and anybody that knows me, they can attest to this and identify. I was created to use my talents of compassion, discernment, and instruction to perform my passions of teaching, protecting, and leading others to accomplish my mission of influence by producing change and progress. Wow. Okay. Now that you have your purpose statement, like I said, go get feedback from others and find out if that's really good. Now, when you get this mission statement, it can go a bunch of different ways. So you're going to be able to, it's going to identify careers. It's going to identify things that are going to be great for you that were made for you, right? You know these things. You've known them since a young age. It's going to help identify that. So it's really amazing. And when you break down the sections, it's going to tell you like things you're passionate about and why you're passionate about it. Work you love to do, and it should list that, right? Like training others is mine. Oh, I love that. Mentoring, absolutely. Advocating for others, yes. Sharing information, yes. Defending those in need, yes. Serving others, yes. It's confronting issues. Things like that. It's going to come up, and it's going to be clarity for you to move forward. Now, this is a wonderful tool. You do have to pay for it, but I suggest that it's well worth it, okay, to help you if you're struggling with a career you want to go into or college, which way you want to go. And it's going to help you identify what you need to do with that, right? So for these students that may not know, like I said, it's going to give you your top talents, your top passions, your top mission, your personalized statement we talked about. And then it's going to give you 12 talent categories, passion results, things that these students may have never thought of to help them. And it's going to give you your mission results. And then once again, that personalized statement. So it's an amazing book. I think you really need to dive into it, especially for those needing to do that. So I recommend that. I'll try to put the link here on my YouTube channel. I also want to talk about Ken's other books because he kind of wrote them they were in kind of reverse order. But I think you really need to start with the career assessment. You need to start with that. And then next, there's one called, that really changed my life. It was called From Paycheck to Purpose. I don't have the hard copy with me. It's at my desk in my office. From Paycheck to Purpose, the clear path of doing work you love. Okay? So Ken has often said on that show, and I heard it and it changed my life, you were put on this earth with a specific role that only you can fill. You just have to figure it out and be intentional about pursuing it. And that's what this book does. To go from a paycheck to purpose in your life. You've identified now how to do it. You know what your skills are, what your talents are, what you want to do. And now you need to go from a job, from just a paycheck maybe, to having a purpose in your work and in your life and how to get to it. And like Ken always says, this is kind of the quote that I use. I use with my students. It's kind of on my desk as well. Somebody needs you to show up today. All right, I always tell everybody, somebody needs you to be you. The world needs who you were created to be. But Ken's most famous line, you were created for a unique purpose. You are needed and you must do it. So remember that, okay? And that's why I'm big on my why and created purpose and all that. So then I would say From Paycheck to Purpose, how to get there. And then thirdly, his first book, kind of in reverse order, The Proximity Principle. Great book, right? So this tells you some people's, how they went from, how do I get to that job now, all right? So now I need to go from paycheck to purpose. I know I've got a purpose. I've been created for this. I need to do it. This is a great example of how to now go forward and find that job. Get that entry-level job, work your way up. And it breaks down the ways that you can do this, right? But the biggest thing is to do what you want to do, you have to be around people that are doing it and know how to do it, right? So you got to get in. So it's helped me in my previous career. Maybe you find somebody, once you've identified the role, you've identified how you want to help people, who you want to target, what you want to do with your purpose, and how to give yourself away. You then want to find out how you need to get in there. So that's what the proximity principle is getting with somebody that you know that can help you get in there. And then once you're there, then you can work your way up, you can work your way in. So it's about kind of who you know, how to get there, and how to get in places. Because you may not know somebody at a place that really has a great ethics, morals, something that stands for it's your dream job, right? How to get to that dream job, and you're not there, right? And you may not be able to go there, but you may know somebody that knows somebody that works in that industry or in that building, right? Talk to them. That's how maybe you can get an interview. Maybe you can get from the top to the bottom. So these are great books that Ken's got. I just wanted to pass those along. If somebody wants a starting point, please start out with this new book on Ken's website, Find the Work You're Wired to Do, to help you find out your created purpose and how to get clear on what you need to do. So hopefully this will help somebody today. And as always, you were created for a purpose and you must do it. God bless.